Have you ever wondered why some brands just feel legendary, while others, brands that seem totally invincible, just fade away? Well, today we're going to dive right into the brilliant and, yeah, sometimes brutal world of brand strategy. We're going to figure out what really separates the icons that last from the ones that become cautionary tales. I mean, that's the big question, right? We've all seen these absolute titans of industry, brands we thought would be around forever, and then poof, they're gone. Just a footnote in a business textbook. So what is actually going on here? What goes so wrong? Okay, let's talk about Nokia. Remember them? For a while there, they were phones, period. But here's the crazy part. Even while they were selling millions and millions of those super durable, simple feature phones, they were completely losing the plot. They totally missed the seismic shift to smartphones. It's a tragic classic example of a successful product leading to a total strategic failure. And then you have Kodak. Wow. The irony of this one is just incredible. Get this. Kodak actually invented the very first digital camera way back in 1975. But they were so scared of it hurting their super profitable film business that they essentially buried it. They hid the very innovation that would, you guessed it, eventually bury them. So you have these different stories, Nokia, Kodak, and so many others. But the root cause, that one fatal flaw, it's surprisingly consistent. And it's probably not what you're thinking. And here it is. This is the absolute key. These brands weren't taken down by some smarter, faster rival. It wasn't just bad luck. The killer blow didn't come from the outside. No. In almost every single one of these cases, the biggest threat was already inside the building. They lost to themselves. Just like any illness, brand failure has really clear symptoms. And if we can diagnose them, we can understand the disease before it's too late. So let's break down some of these major warning signs. At the very heart of the problem is this fundamental conflict in mindset. Over on the left, you see the signs of short-term thinking. It's all about chasing quick profits, getting hype, following the latest trend, instead of building real, lasting value. A huge part of the problem is just this deep lack of patience. And on the right, that's the alternative. It's a long-term vision. It's built on patient craftsmanship, and most importantly, on trust. This quote just nails the danger of what we call brand dilution. Think about it. There's this great example of Maotai. It's like the king of high-end Chinese spirits. When they tried to launch a beer, it completely failed. Why? Because a brand can't just be anything it wants to be. When you think Maotai, you think of one very specific, very premium thing. Throwing a beer into the mix just confuses everyone and weakens the power of that main brand. So these flawed mindsets, they show up in a few common ways. First, you get flawed positioning, trying to be for everybody, which means you end up being for nobody. Then you've got these destructive price wars that just cheapen a premium image. And like we saw with Nokia and Kodak, you get this crippling fear of disrupting your own success. Okay, so we've spent some time diagnosing the problem. Now let's talk about the cure. And it's a big one. It requires a really fundamental shift in how we think, a whole new philosophy that goes way beyond just the thing you sell on a shelf. This new way of thinking, it all starts with a new definition. A brand isn't just your product. It is a meaningful experience. And look at who's involved. All stakeholders. That means your customers, sure, but also your employees, your partners, your community, society itself. It's this holistic promise that you have to deliver on consistently for a long, long time. To put it as simply as possible, this is the core of it. The game has changed. It's no longer just about what you sell. It's about what you stand for. It's about the values, the soul, the entire promise that your organization really embodies. All right, so how do we actually build this thing? Let's get practical here. There's a really powerful framework for creating a modern brand that can actually handle all the pressures we've been talking about. So the framework is built on what's called the 3 pillars. First up, you have Pinjer, and that's quality. This is the foundation, right? Your product just has to work. It has to deliver. Second is Pingo, which is character. This is your integrity, your ethics. And third is Pinwei, or taste. This is the soul of the brand, its style, its vibe, its cultural appeal. And then, built on top of those pillars, you have the 4 degrees of connection. Think of it like a journey you take with your audience. It starts with simple awareness. Do people even know you exist? Then it moves to reputation. Are you respected? From there to satisfaction. Do you deliver on your promises? And finally, the holy grail, true loyalty. Will they choose you again and again, no matter what? Now, to make any of this actually work, the company itself has to change. This model completely flips the traditional org chart on its head. As you can see here, the brand and the consumer, they are at the absolute center, the core. And then every other function, R&D, marketing, even finance, their entire job is to revolve around and serve that core experience. When you do this, you build an incredibly powerful defense mechanism, the stakeholder firewall. What does that mean? It means that when a crisis hits, your strongest shield isn't some slick PR team. It's the deep trust you've built with everyone. Your employees, your partners, your community. When they truly believe in your character, they become your defenders. They protect the brand when it's under attack. So when you boil it all down, this whole thing comes down to one powerful, essential shift. A brand is no longer just a logo that the marketing department cooked up. It has to be an authentic reflection of your entire organization. It's not about what you sell, it's about who you are. And that leaves just one final question that every single leader out there should be asking themselves. Who are you really?